You are listening to the Becoming the Wealthy You podcast with Jermaine Foley. If you're a woman who makes good money in your career or business, but you're not building wealth like you want to, then you're in the right place. In this podcast, you'll learn how to stop overspending, break free from the cycle of debt, save lots of cash, and become the wealthy woman you were born to be. Let's dive in. Well, hello, everyone. Welcome back to the podcast. So in last week's episode, which was episode 153, we talked about desire. We talked about what it means to want more, but from a place of gratitude and appreciation, and how that's such a beautiful and wonderful place to grow from. And if you haven't had a chance to listen to that one yet, definitely go back and check it out after this episode, because it's a really powerful conversation about allowing yourself to want more and desire without feeling guilty or ungrateful. But today, I want to take that idea a step further, because desiring is only the first step. There are so many people in the world who want things, but they never get it, right? Why is that? Why is it that so many people wish for things, hope for things, want for things, but their lives never change? They never go for it. They never change their situation. The reason is because of what I'm going to talk about today, because desiring something is only the first step. Letting yourself want, letting yourself dream, allowing yourself to picture a different version of your financial life. While that's important and absolutely necessary, because everything that ever existed started in the mind first. It started with a vision. So with that, you must have the vision. You must allow yourself to want in order for anything new to happen. But here's the truth. And this is where a lot of women get stuck. Desire alone, like I said, isn't enough. You see so many people, again, with the same life, even though they wish and hope and want so many things. The missing piece is you have to also believe, even if it's just a little bit, believe that what you want is actually possible for you. Because desire, yes, it's going to open up the door. You can't have anything unless you want it and desire it and see it first. But belief is what gives you that courage to walk through the door. So let's look at what walking through the door, what that actually looks like. It looks like acting on it. You go from just thinking about things, wanting things, wishing for things, hoping for things, to actually taking action to make those things a reality. It looks like deciding that you're going to do something different. It looks like committing to something. It looks like investing even in support and guidance and accountability, something like one-on-one money coaching. Because think about it. If you believed without question that having someone in your corner would help you get to where you want to be financially, you would do it. If you believed that if you did something different and doing that thing is going to get you to where you want to be, maybe out of debt, maybe a significantly higher net worth, you would do it. If you believed that just taking one step at a time would get you to where you want to go. Like, you may not know the full pathway from A to Z, but if you believe that, hey, if I take the first step to step A, I know that step B is going to be revealed to me. And when I get to B, I know that C is going to be revealed to me. If you believe all of that, then you would be taking action. You wouldn't just be consuming and thinking about changing, right? You will be in the game. You will be in the arena. You will be doing something different. So the missing piece is belief. And that's what I want to talk about today. What it really takes to believe that you can change your financial life, especially for those of you who have tried in the past and quit, or if you're one of those people who know what to do, but you just can't seem to get yourself to do it. This episode is really going to speak to you today. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through 4 different belief blocks that you may have been dealing with, things you may not have been taking advantage of, or things that you may have been doing so that you can really work through those blocks and get to where you really want to go and start believing that you can get to where you want to go. Okay, so the first belief block is that you have been relying on willpower. So if every time you've tried to change your finances, you were doing it from willpower alone, of course, it was hard to stay consistent with that. I want you to hear me when I say this. You weren't doing anything wrong. You just didn't have the structure, the accountability, the emotional tools, or the systems you actually needed to make it work. You were relying on willpower. And trying to change your financial life with willpower is like trying to run a marathon with no training. You're going to get tired early and you're going to quit. And then you're going to blame yourself. You're going to feel defeated. You're going to beat yourself up and say, see, I'm just bad with money, or there's something wrong with me. And this is one of the reasons why you stop believing in your ability to change your financial life, because you think, again, there's something wrong with you, that you don't have enough discipline or self-control, like there's a character flaw. When the truth is, there's nothing wrong with you. And you, if you're a human being and you're listening to this podcast, you can absolutely change your financial life. I don't care who you are, because I know for sure that human beings can change. I am a witness. I am an example of what is possible. I am an example of someone being really, really bad with money to someone being really, really good with money. And I changed. And so if I could do it, if my clients can do it, so can you. I work with so many women who come to me because they've tried on their own using willpower and all the other things I'm going to talk about today, and maybe not taking advantage of some of the things I'm going to talk about today. And now they're completely different. Again, I want you to hear me. There's nothing wrong with you. You can absolutely change. You were just trying to change by working against yourself using willpower, which is limited, temporary, and unsustainable. And honestly, when you really think about it, that's great news. That's the truth, right? It's great news. Like, oh, the problem is I was relying on willpower instead of something different. Oh, there isn't anything wrong with me. I can figure this out if I try again, right? Because if every other time you tried to change, you were gritting your teeth and white knuckling it, trying to will yourself into becoming a different person, then now you know why it didn't work. It didn't work because you're relying on something that is temporary, that is not something for long-term transformation. It is something for short-term gain, right? It's something to get you to something short-term, like a fad diet, right? Okay, I need to lose a quick 5 pounds to fit into this bridesmaid dress or to my wedding dress or to this dress for this event. You can use willpower for stuff like that, but you're not going to be able to use willpower to lose 100 pounds. There's no way, right? So willpower is for like short sprints, but if you want to run a real long marathon and get to someplace you've never been before, willpower is not it. You cannot use willpower to get there. The next belief block we're going to talk about is the fact that you've been trying to fix the wrong problem. So one of the biggest reasons you struggle to believe that you can change your financial life is because you've been trying to fix the wrong problem the entire time. You've been telling yourself you need to get out of debt and stay out. You need to save. You need to start investing more. You need to finally stick to a budget. But that has never worked. Again, not because you're incapable, but because this was never the real issue. We're always trying to fix symptoms. I love this analogy. Let's say you have a fever, right? That's a symptom of something deeper that's wrong with you. And yes, you can give yourself some Tylenol and your fever will go down. But until you get to the root cause of why that fever is there in the first place, the fever is going to come back once the Tylenol fades away, right? Once the Tylenol is no longer in your body, the fever is going to come back. But if you go to the doctor and maybe get some blood work done and find out, oh, maybe it's something deeper, or get your throat swabbed, oh, you have an infection, you need antibiotics, then guess what? You're going to take those antibiotics. It's going to treat the root cause, which is the infection. And then you will no longer need the Tylenol and the fevers will go away for good. That's kind of how it is with your money. Many of us are looking at the symptoms. We're looking at the debt. That's a symptom of something deeper. We're looking at the fact that we can't save a significant amount of money. That's a symptom of something deeper. We're looking at the fact that we can't stick to a budget, or that we overspend, or that we feel like we're not able to invest, right? We can't get ourselves to invest at a level that's going to allow us to retire comfortably and a millionaire. right? Those are all symptoms of a deeper problem. And so you're always trying to treat the symptoms. Okay, I need to stick to a budget. I need to pay off this debt. I need to, save this money. Yes, you do need to do those things, right? But the reason why you're not doing them is deeper than just, oh, I'm just bad at budgeting. It's something deeper. And so we need to get to the root cause. And so the reason why, even though you've tried all those things, you tried to get out of debt, I'm sure many of you have paid off debt so many times. You've paid off that same credit card time and time again. But guess what? As soon as you pay it off, you run it back up again. Many of you have saved lots of money, right? If you add up all the money you've saved over time, but you can't accumulate it, right? Many of you have written out a budget, but guess what? You don't follow it. Why? Why is all this happening? Because you're stuck in what I call your financial comfort zone. Your financial comfort zone is the level of money that you're comfortable with. It's the current level of savings that you're comfortable with. It's the current level of debt and of spending that feels normal to your brain, even if your normal isn't good for you, isn't helping you, it isn't getting you to where you want to be. So that is why when you pay off that credit card, it doesn't stay paid off, right? It runs back up again. This is why you might get a windfall at work, a bonus or some sort of money, and you save it, you put it in a savings account. But guess what? You find a reason to spend it down. Or maybe you do have a certain level that you're comfortable with having saved. Let's say it's $5,000. But anytime you go above that, you spend it back down. You kind of self-sabotage yourself back down. This is you bumping up against what's called your upper limit, your financial comfort zone. And it's like you bring yourself back down to where you're comfortable, where you're familiar, where your normal is, right? And so until you figure that out, until you have awareness like, oh, the reason why I keep doing these things over and over again, even though I don't want to, is subconscious. It is something happening on a deeper level. And this is what I work with my clients on, to break free from their current financial comfort zone and create a new financial comfort zone. And then what? Break free from that one and create a new one, right? And it's a very nuanced way to do it. Everybody's different. There's no cookie cutter way to do this, right? There's no baby steps that you can follow that's going to allow you to do this. This is why one-on-one money coaching is so important, because it's personalized to you, to your life, to your desires, to your values, and to your financial goals. Okay? So if you've been trying to change and you do the things you know you're supposed to do, but you always find yourself back, then of course you stop believing in yourself, right? But I want you to know that there's nothing wrong with you. It's actually because you're stuck in a financial comfort zone. And I promise you, you can get out of that comfort zone. And I will be more than happy to help you do that. And again, that's the power of one-to-one money coaching, because coaching gives you the tools, the support, the accountability to change your financial life for good, to get out of credit card debt and stay out, to save $10K and then $20K without self-sabotaging it back down to zero, to contributing to your investment accounts and not borrow from them. This is the value of one-to-one money coaching. And so for those of you who are ready for this level of support, for those of you who see yourself in these two examples I just gave you, trying to use willpower and then finding yourself stuck in a comfort zone, no matter how much you try to get out of it, then I am inviting you to book your consultation. All you have to do is go to jermainefoley.com/consult and let's work together. Let's get on that call. That's complimentary. We'll look at where you are, where you want to be, and I'll tell you exactly how I'll help you get to where you want to go without extreme sacrifice, without a strict budget, without giving up your entire life. Okay, so belief block number 3 is this one. You're ignoring the fresh start effect. So a few weeks ago, I had a woman book one of the consultations I just invited you to book. And she said to me when I asked her, why did you reach out? Why now? She said, I just turned 40. It's time. And instantly it reminded me of the fresh start effect, something behavioral scientist Katie Milkman talks about in one of her books. And here's the idea. There are moments in our lives when we naturally feel separate from who we used to be. So it's like we look at our past self and we're like, nope, I'm different now. Those moments can be birthdays, a new job, a divorce, a new month, a new season, a Monday, a milestone, a wake-up call, or a realization that I just make too much money to keep living like this. These are fresh start moments that give you a psychological clean slate, moments that help you believe again, like, okay, this is my fresh start. I am future focused and I can do this. The old me is in the past and I'm embracing the new me. Hello, everyone. I hope you all are enjoying this Thanksgiving weekend. And in honor of Black Friday, I want to offer you all an exclusive, never before seen deal for the Wealthy Woman's Academy. I am offering you all, hold on to your seats, 30% off the price of the Wealthy Woman's Academy. Listen, I want you all to end 2023 with a bang, so that you can start 2024 like you've never started a new year in your life. This is a great opportunity to add wealth building to your Christmas list, okay? To your holiday wish list. If you want to join me and you want to take advantage of this exclusive Black Friday deal, you have to sign up by this Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's this Sunday, which is November 26th. By 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, you get 30% off the Wealthy Woman's Academy, and that even includes if you choose the payment plan. If you choose the payment plan, you get to still get 30% off. I've never done anything like this before, but I'm feeling very cheerful and joyful, and I want to spread that to you all. So either go to the show notes and click the link to purchase the Wealthy Woman's Academy. You do not need to book an interest call or a consultation. You can just join from that link, or go to www.jermainefoley, that's Jermaine with a G, .com/WWA. Again, that's jermainefoley.com/WWA. I hope to see you in there. And now let's get to the episode. These are moments that boost your optimism and make you think this time can be different. Now, let me be clear. You do not have to wait for a fresh start to change. Like my client, she was like, I just turned 40. It's time, right? You don't have to wait until you're 40. You can use any day to be a fresh start day, right? You can choose any moment. You can choose it. You don't need to wait for it. You can choose your day. You can choose your moment. But if you're someone who's been knowing what to do, but struggled to get started, a fresh start moment can be the spark that you need. It's like working with your brain. It's like a brain hack, right? Instead of working against it. And fresh starts are literally everywhere. They're all around you. Again, you do not wait for them. You look for them. You choose them. You create them. Your fresh start, again, may look like a birthday, a move, a promotion, a breakup, a Monday, a new quarter, a new season. It could be the start of spring, the start of winter, the start of summer. Or again, it could be a moment where you just have a mindset shift and suddenly realize that I'm ready for something different. You get to choose the moment that becomes your clean slate. Now, let's talk about where we are right now. Depending on when you're listening, you might be standing right at the edge of one of the biggest fresh start seasons of the entire year, the new year. This is the time when millions of people naturally reflect, they naturally reset, and they naturally recommit and reimagine what's possible. They say, hey, January 1st, I'm starting fresh. So right now it's December, it's the beginning of December. We are 4 weeks away from a brand new year, from 2026. And this is the time when millions of people naturally decide they're going to change. And I know there are a bunch of cynics out there that love to say that New Year's resolutions don't work, right? And I could have been one of them in the past because the stats don't lie, right? 80% of New Year's resolutions fail. But if you really think about it and flip that statistic on its head, if 80% don't stick to their New Year's resolutions, then that means 20% actually do stick to them. And 20% of millions of people is a huge number because millions of people set New Year's resolutions. And if 20% of those people actually change, that's a lot of people transforming their lives simply because they said, this is my moment. This is my fresh start. And they actually make change, right? So let's not focus on the 80% that don't make it because there's so many people that do. And I believe with my whole heart that you can be one of those people. And I would love to be the person who helps you do that, to be your guide, to be your support system, to be your money coach and your accountability partner in 2026. So here's the thing. I offer one-to-one money coaching, which is high touch. It's just me, you, and your money. And because we all just have a certain amount of time in the day, including myself, I cannot work with hundreds of women in this capacity. I work very, very closely with my clients, and I can't do that with everybody, but I can do it for some of you. So if you know that you want 2026 to be your fresh start, you're feeling the pull, you want to be in that 20%, this is your moment to act. So I'm inviting you, for those of you who are ready, because I know several of you that are listening are ready, you are invited to book your one-to-one consultation with me to secure your spot and claim your fresh start for 2026. Book your calls now. Do not wait until 2026 happens because, like I said, my capacity is limited and people love to start working on things like money and health and other things in the new year. So don't let your opportunity slip away from you. If you want to be one of those people, go ahead and book your consultation. You can go to jermainefoley.com/consult. That's Jermaine with a G, foley.com/consult, or you can simply go to the show notes and click the link there. And let's walk into 2026 with a fresh start. Let's walk in there together. Let's draw that line in the sand and say, this is my time. Okay? Don't let your moment slip away. If this is speaking to you, I know some of you, this is speaking to you. You've been thinking about booking that consultation for a long time. Let this be your moment. Let this be your moment. Okay, let's go on to the final belief block. And that is you haven't made a real commitment to your future self, to the person you truly want to be with money. Here's the thing about belief. Belief isn't just a feeling. Belief shows up in your decisions. If you really want to ask yourself, if you really want to know if you believe something, look at your actions. Look at the commitments you're making. Look at what you're doing with your time, with your money, with your resources. There is a concept called a commitment device, which is just a decision you make today that locks you into the future that you want. For a lot of women, coaching can become that commitment, that moment where they book the call, the moment they get on the call, and then they say yes to support, and they sign up and they make that investment in themselves. That becomes the turning point. Not because coaching is this magical thing, but because they finally said, I'm not playing around anymore. I am doing this. I'm not hoping that my finances will magically fix themselves. I am doing something about it. And so if you really want to change, you have to commit to changing. I remember when I found myself slipping back into credit card debt. So you all know my story. If you don't, you can go to episode number 2, my not so pretty money story. We paid off debt. I swore off credit cards. I felt like I couldn't handle them. I wasn't, disciplined enough because I followed some of what Dave Ramsey had taught, like cut up the cards, don't use the cards. And so that's one of the ways we got out of debt. We didn't use credit cards at all. And sometimes that's necessary, but I got to a place where I wanted to be able to use credit cards, right? I wanted to build up that trust with myself. I wanted to show myself that I could do it. And I wanted the perks and the convenience that came along, and honestly, the protections that come along with using credit cards. And so I started dipping my toe back in, and I found myself like kind of overdoing it, like putting a bunch of things on it, not paying it off on a monthly basis, racking up interest. And I knew that that's not who I wanted to be. And that kind of happened for about a year. The first year I started using credit cards again, I found myself kind of like stuck in that. And literally, I used the fresh start principle, and I decided at the end of, it was literally the end of the year, I'm not sure what year it was, I decided that moving forward, I would not carry a credit card balance. And I used the new year as a fresh start for that very specific goal. It was a commitment that I made to myself. And I took action on it, and I put parameters and boundaries in place around how I use my credit cards and things like that. And so I say all that to say that's how you really can solidify belief in yourself, is by committing to the future you that you want to be financially or any other way, right? You commit and you make a promise to yourself and you just decide, like, I am doing this, period. And for those of you who feel like you want some support with that, you know you want support because you've tried and you just want that commitment device, right? Coaching can be that for you. That can be the thing that you use to help solidify your belief and your commitment to yourself. Again, because coaching in itself is not magical, but what it does is it turns the page. It helps you to step into doing something you've never done before. And it gives you that support, that accountability. It's that thing that'll help you get back on track when things don't go as planned, right? It helps you to not give up when it gets hard. That's what coaching is. And that decision, paired with desire, paired with a fresh start, and paired with stepping outside of your comfort zone, that is where real transformation can truly begin for you. So if you've been questioning whether you can actually change your finances for good, if your past has made you doubt yourself, if you've been stuck in that loop that I talked about earlier where you pay off your debt only to run it back up again, you save and then you spend it down, you invest and then you borrow from your investments, if you've tried before and you always fall off, I want you to know there's nothing wrong with you. It doesn't mean you can't change. It just means that you need to try a different way. So I want you to hear me. You are not your past. You are a woman who is ready for a fresh start. And you do not have to do this alone. For those of you who are ready for your fresh start and you want me to help you to solidify it, go to jermainefoley.com/consult to book your complimentary wealth building strategy consultation, or you can just go to the show notes. Remember, desire opens the door. Belief gives you the courage to actually walk through that door. And having support, that's what keeps you going. All right, I'll see you next week. Bye-bye. Hey, if money is the one area of life you just can't seem to figure out, even though you make good money, you're not alone. That's why you're invited to book a complimentary one-to-one money consultation with me so that we can figure out how to solve your biggest money challenges. To sign up, simply go to jermainefoley.com/consult or check out the show notes. Hope to meet you soon.